have noticed over the past few days that Amma Burland is trending. Now, Amma Burland is a Ghanaian content creator, and there are some revelations she came to give out, which has sparked social media comments and then debates, and people are also adding on, buttressing her point and then also sharing their point of view as to her claims that some churches in Ghana, or a particular church which she mentioned to be the Christ Embassy Youth Church, performs fake miracles. Now, we have lots and lots of audios that we are going to listen to and get into the details of this matter. Now, there are three personalities involved in this case. The first one will be Amma Burland herself. The second one will be Pastor Chris Oyakilome and Pastor Erock, who happens to be, or who was, the head pastor of the Christ Embassy Youth Church right here in Ghana before he was transferred. And so let's get into the nitty-gritties of it, and then how people have all of a sudden also come to share their point of view to let the world know that probably what Amma Burland is saying might be very, very true, because yes, so there are church members who have come to defend their stance. There are also other people from all over the world who are also saying that yes, it may be or it may not be true. Let's get into the real details of it. Now, Amma Burland, as we know, very, very beautiful lady. She calls herself as a social media influencer, and we know that she, or even if you don't know, she was once a Muslim before she was invited to join the church, that is Christ Embassy Youth Church. And she says that the role she was giving as a then was to help their social media and boost their account, especially on Instagram. She calls herself one of the early pioneers of that church's branch when it started. And so everything she is saying, she knows exactly what it is. You know, somebody having a first-hand experience of how things have gone till now. She is the best person to talk about it, and that is why when she came out to say this, it has actually gone widespread, and people are actually believing her because, yes, she was there, she had her experiences, and then she came to explain how all these things came to play, especially with regards to fake miracles. Now let's go listen to the very first audio as she explains how she saw things to be initially, and to her things didn't go well at all, especially she being a first-time Christian, or she being introduced into the Christian ministry for the first time. She said this was not what she was expecting, and she was so disappointed by the operations of that particular church and that particular man of God being Pastor Erock. Let's go and listen to the very first audio.
When I started the church, there were not a lot of people that were in the church, right? I was part of the pioneers when he started that church, because a friend of mine introduced me to him, because he had just moved from being a singer to this, and he agrees that yes, he agrees that he's part of it, because when I made the decision to leave the church, he actually took me to, that was my first time at campaigns. He took me there to explain to me why I shouldn't leave, and that he's a sinner and he has fallen short of the glory of God. So me and him, we understand that he's the reason why I left the church. Now, I want to talk about my background and why he is the reason why, because I am from a Muslim home, right? So that was my proper introduction to going to church. So every understanding of church I would have, or understanding of the Bible, was straight from him. But there's some things were weird to me, which is why I left. Now, first, when I started the church, 1 month in, we were doing competition, like, oh,
So, if you were listening very attentively, you could know, or you could notice, that Amma Burland was expressing her displeasure at the operations of the church as at when she was introduced to it by a friend. She claims that she was invited to come and join the church. And when she got there, due to the fact that she was or she is a social media influencer and a content creator, being a pioneer or part of those who started the church, they gave her a role to play as a social media head in charge of Instagram. But she said 1 month into the activities of the church, she noticed some things which didn't go well with her at all. In fact, she used the word, they were very weird. The very first one she spoke about was the fact that she noticed that there was some form of competition amongst the church with regards to their branches. So let's assume we have Christ Embassy Youth Church branch in Kaswa, then another one at East Legon, then another one at Spinkters. So they were giving some form of a target to be able to meet financially, that when at the end of a meeting they come to say that, oh, this branch had more money than this branch, and this branch also came second, this branch we have to do better because we are not getting to the top of our affairs. And she said when she noticed that, she was a bit taken aback for somebody who was a Muslim, and she to her, she was asking herself, why in the first place should there be some form of a competition amongst the churches or amongst themselves or the branches of the church? At the end of the day, whatever everybody is able to make or what everybody is able to get should be sufficient enough. But that was not what she experienced. Also, yes, so let's go back and then listen to the audio. When we come back, we'll get into more details.
When I started the church, there were not a lot of people that were in the church, right? I was part of like the pioneers when he started that church, because a friend of mine introduced me to him, because he had just moved from being a singer to this, and he agrees that yes, he agrees that he's part of it, because when I made the decision to leave the church, he actually took me to, that was my first time at campaigns. He took me there to explain to me why I shouldn't leave, and that he's a sinner and he has fallen short of the glory of God. So me and him, we understand that he's the reason why I left the church. Now, I want to talk about my background and why he is the reason why, because I am from a Muslim home, right? So that was my proper introduction to going to church. So every understanding of church I would have, or understanding of the Bible, was straight from him. But there's some things were weird to me, which is why I left. Now, first, when I started the church, 1 month in, we were doing competition, like, oh, let's say Kotoka branch raised 20 million, so maybe Agboglosi branch raised 30 million, so we have to pass them. Hey, why do we have to pass them? For what? Like, I don't even understand. We were like, that was like, I wasn't understanding why we have to pass another church. Like, we actually went for this type of, I don't know what it is, where other branches to come and say, okay, we raised this, we raised that, we raised this. Me, I don't know where the money was going to, but people in the church found delight in passing other branches. So that was my first red flag. And then the preaching constantly became money, 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 right? And I was the social media handler at a point, the Instagram social media handler at a point. So the money issue was one. The second thing was, when I left the church because I saw something that was very, very horrible, and which is why he took me to the church. But then he came to tell me that, oh, he's a sinner, I should listen to the preaching and not the individual, and that's understandable. He's a human being and he makes mistakes. When I went to the church that day, they do this thing where they do a night of miracles or something. There was this guy from UPSA that, like, I know him, but I've forgotten his name. He had an accident, so he had crutches, and they prayed for him, and he put the crutches down. The next day, I saw him in Legon, and he was using the crutches again. Now, this is my first introduction to miracles and all of these things. This is my first introduction to miracles and all of these things. So me, I wasn't understanding what is going on. So did it work? Did it not work? Like, how is the process supposed to be? Like, is it supposed to go immediately? Is it a slow process? If it's a slow process, then he should have left with the crutches. But I feel like in his mind they've prayed for him, so he used them to walk. Then the next day he realized that, nah, it's not gone. Then he started using like the crutches again. So that was, I didn't even come back again. After I saw him that day, I didn't even come back again. And then the third thing was that I feel like people were, because of the preaching that was going on, people were coerced to give testament or say testimonies. I don't even know how that thing is called, but like coming to thank God for whatever it is. But when they, before they come and thank God, they say, thank you, Pastor Sam, for the opportunity. What opportunity? You are thanking God. Why are you thanking the pastor for the opportunity to give a testament to God to win souls to Christ? I don't know. It is just too much for me. It felt like the
Like, small. You
sorry.
hit.
It felt like the reverence was more to the leaders than the than God Himself. And also, I was made a cell leader. Mind you, I'm from a Muslim home. So if you make me a cell leader and put me in charge of a group of people, honestly, how am I going to preach? So who told, what, like, which spirit of God told you that this, even if, let's say, in the future, I'll be a cell leader and graduate to a pastor and whatever, in that moment, is it really God that told
Amen.
you that I
How
was
Amma,
right?
what do you mean by you are made a cell leader? Like,
Yeah,
so
like, so they'll put you, they are cell leaders, so they'll put you in charge of like a group of people where
right,
like,
right. And what were you
yeah.
supposed to do? Like, what were you supposed to do as a cell
Or
leader?
sometimes you talk to them about God, you talk to them about
Okay,
the funds that they are supposed to raise. And I
okay.
actually never did that because I didn't even know where to start from. Maybe it is a gradual,
Ama, see,
yeah.
you have all the time in the world. We are not ending the space
I'm sorry,
anytime
I
soon.
talk fast. I talk
No,
fast. I
see,
can't.
if you like, talk till tomorrow. Me, pardon, my yes on. Me, my yes on.
I'm sorry, I talk fast, but yes. So yeah, as I was saying, they made me a cell leader too, and then it was very like confusing to me, right? And then later, people started selling their things because if you give a seed, if you give your last seed to God, God will multiply it to you. That was the perception there. So people started selling their last things and everything, but fortunately I didn't even have to even sell, so that's what helped me. Maybe if I had, I would have also sold something. But when I left the church not too long ago, I heard, that's when I heard about Adosi and everything, but I never asked him about it till I left the church. It's the delusion thing is very crazy. That I know Adose had a friend that died in a motorbike, but Adose never let go of his motorbike, but he let go of his motorbike when he entered that church. That is how crazy it is. Like, I don't know how
Hey,
it
hey,
works,
hey, hey.
but that is how it is. Like, it is like if you give to, like, I don't know what it is, but the preaching is always about giving money, giving money, giving. I don't really remember any.
So you say the church, them they beg, like beggy.
I don't know what it's called, but it's basically like you have to sow seed. So like you can even give, if you give your last to church, you don't know, God will give you miracle money. But why should I give my last to the church before God will give me the miracle money? Like it doesn't like make sense. It's just a lot of things. And when it came to the girls, I felt like there was a bit of grooming on that side, because there were some people he met from high school and he like they grew up in the church. But that is not my story to tell. But what I saw, I had to leave because I felt
What did
like
you see?
that is
Cell
their
leader.
story. So I can't come and maybe they are not ready to
Thank you, Amma.
to
Thank you,
talk
Amma.
about it. So once they are ready to speak about it, fine.
Oh, you are my the way my vim come for you, pa.
Ama, you
No,
for go back to the church, oh.
If I go back to the church,
Charlie,
no.
right now,
I
you cut
actually
out.
Go,
tried.
go,
I
go, and,
actually
go and
tried.
come back. Go and come back.
I tried going back to the church again to listen to the preaching instead of the person who is doing the preaching. Like, I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
listen to the word rather than looking at the person doing the preaching. But I still went back and I was met with money conversation, and I was like, you know what? It's
Wait, so do they reach out to you now to join again
no.
at all?
No.
And when you left initially, what was the reaction?
That's what I'm saying. The pastor took me out. He apologized for what I saw. And what that's why sometimes when I'm laughing about it and these people come and reply my tweets, and I'm like, is your pastor where you are doing this to me, especially because he will not be happy with what exactly I'm going to say. Because if he actually took me out to apologize, to say, oh, please, like, you have to relax and consider your pastor when you are attacking people who have left the church. If you are still there, fine, that's you. It will come. Everybody's own will come. You will leave eventually, but for now, you have to relax and don't invalidate other people's experiences because of what you think you are experiencing right now. Just relax. You will see it. If you don't see it, you will see it. Yes. So that is all I
Okay.
can remember for now. If I remember anything, I'll tweet it.
All right. Thank you so much, Alma. We have someone here.
So this was a live on X or Twitter that she did, and she, as we've heard, a lot is actually going on. So wonders we say shall never end. She said she was made a cell leader as young or as novice as she was, being a Muslim turned Christian who was invited maybe 2 months into or 1 month into the church activities, and then she was made a cell leader. What at all was she going to tell her cell members, and what preaching at all could she give to them? She realized that was also a big question mark and a big red flag. She also noticed the fact that most of the time the messages or the preaching was money centered. Come and sow a seed, do this, fundraising here, fundraising there. And she said it even looked like some people were coerced to go and sell their properties, their resources to be able to raise those funds, to be able to give on the church altar so that God will bless them. And to her, that was not good at all. Because why should you sacrifice your last for God to be able to bless you? So all of these things to her were too confusing, and to make matters worse, when she decided to pull back, the man of God invited her on a date, took him pisky. Let's watch the second video. When we come back, we'll take more details right from there. Now, the second video is about one church member who was also throwing tantrums at Amabella and calling her names and saying that she doesn't know what she is saying, because being able to serve in the church is a great opportunity. And when she left, probably she thought that people will come for her or the church will come for her, but the church still thrived without her. Her faith is little, they claimed. Let's go and watch that. When we come back, we'll continue with the rest.
Opportunity. Hey, now uko ejumema, child boys. Please.
I don't know why she's raising this issue.
And I met somebody at CEYC, and then the person was still using the crutches. Oh, but damn, now
Of course, but you have to use faith.
Actually, hey, everybody, hey. Like, seriously, it really baffles me. Because I do, like, the Muslim girl, she only believes are very different. Who faith? Who faith?
You know how faithful they are Muslims. Or no one to be influencing them. You know how they can do.
What you say now? Who Christian? What's your influence? So, Christian is very extrovert because of Sadio Mane. Now, you are condemning the church. It's not like question you have to come. You have to condemn. You have to condemn the individuals, because I'm not sorry. Yes, there were sorry. Sign what about so I say. And then if I come about sorry because a baby now to say, oh, pastor, you're good. In some about sorry, the baby now so that because a man sorry.
What do you mean changing me?
The obey say obey do obey my scriptures. Way. So what's your pastor preaching down? Papa no uncut. Oh, Erock, because honestly speaking, when I see people doing these things, it really worries me, because me, I've gone to church. I always say that I've gone to church, but always me faith in you. And I'm going to blame pastor say on them me faith in true, because I know that the fault is coming from me. So as I said, if you see me in church and you see me somewhere, blame me. Why are you blaming the church? Because it's a big individual preference, and an individual people are faithful in the church. A man for sorry, or more dedicated. Every month so call. Every month so call cry no musa ko any man. The individual you. A pastor is supposed to lead you to the Lord. They don't be condemning first love and so. Hey, they are dedicated people in First Love, like crazy. Me and now me calling me telling you the banner of UK buy. I carry for UK buy because I'm more conference for Ghana. Hey, how many people will do this? She said I'm not for a very dedicated. Like people are very dedicated. Who get on the life are like forget everything. Like yeah, but obviously change only me when you know now conclude it say sorry no. And it's not the church individual like individual, and it's gonna be like that till eternity.
Almost say nipa ba kon ya dia I was say like it affects all the church like obia to say bia me to say the me call yi me call
church is the hospital
me call CEYC na me obi hu mo klaba na CEYC yo ani kra be preach o ma na wasa omoba sam kan no masa kwa no mo san ye it's individual like sudden you can't see
you can, but I don't know. Hey, CEYC abort so CEYC hates like it's crazy, and I know that because end time is very near. And to never be say it will happen. They will condemn the pastor like that. What I say. But sorry, your hospital. If you come to say, well, sorry, not so attire shorter. Who say, alone. Last time was go for no month to sao into no quamede, Mashaka attention. Sunday starting. I say the last time a First Love. Hey, meaning First Love suffer so I suffer no more shepherds, no more suffer. But now omo into adultery, let's say hey, it's an individual preference. They can't be just a individual. And it is so sad because I say I youth church. I youth church. CEYC I youth church. It's not remember say Ekoso. Oko Abuja no youth for. You see youth but you see the elder people also there. It's not about the impactful things that Oyema church no, and the impactful things that Oyema youth no, because he's joined so many youth to God. Hey, if you go to church and you see some of them praying, you will love God. Me, I always say the reason why I go to church is the way some of them are very dedicated to God. Because Rhapsody givings, amount for giving like mad for Rhapsody, just for people to get the book to read. And I know so meaning say the man go for baby, I'm read, but hey, so I say $1,000. Pastor Michelle, they last year of giving about $10,000 for Rhapsody. But I don't know the thing that he's doing and everything.
And so this was a church member, or is a church member, who is defending Pastor Erock and the Church of Christ Embassy, saying that everything that happens, probably there's a reason to it. First and foremost, she claims that, yes, people have their individual differences and then their individual preferences. So as a man of God, he may have faulted somewhere, but then she shouldn't generalize the thing to make it look like then all men of God are the same or all churches are like this. She says that the donations they give are for the Rhapsody of Reality printing, and that is giving out to people for free. How can they sponsor that, or how can they print more copies if the church members do not give? And so it is the donations that come from the church members, the cell leaders, the cell members that they put together, that little by little they are able to print more Rhapsodies of Realities for people to be able to read. She also mentioned the fact that faith is very important, that as a Christian, growing in faith will help you to understand certain things that happens in the church. But if you refuse to grow in faith and you become an amateur, it means that whatever that will happen, you will always have a problem with it, just as Burland has currently. And so she is calling on all church members, especially those who are very staunch, that they should not pay attention to any of these social media hula baloos, but keep on holding to their faith, keep on being committed, and then see how far this will come. She says we are getting to the end time, so she's not surprised at all that this is happening. Let's go watch another video. When we come back, we'll give you details of it. Now, this video is about another church member who is probably no longer a church member, sharing her experiences about how at a point in time she was also asked to give some donations, where she gave with her mother a joint donation, and at a point there was somebody close to her that lost a family member, and the reaction that came from another member of the church, she said she wasn't pleased at all. Let's go listen to the details of that. When we come back, we'll
They're
continue.
awarding people based on how much they give. Like, let's say your target is $1 million. Okay, cool. But you're awarding and your starting range is $1,000. Somebody probably gave like $50 and that's all they had. But you're telling the person that, oh, because they gave $1,000, they didn't give $1,000, or maybe that year it's $2,000 that was like the least. So their $50 is like nothing. Meanwhile, the person feels like, hey, I gave my all, I did everything. But you, these same people, are also selling them this thing where if you give, you are going to become rich, you are going to have it multiplied in double folds. And the funny thing was, it was on uni people. Like me that I'm in uni, how much do I even get? That you've given
And
me a
so the
target
youth
of
can
like
raise $1 million.
$1,000.
Hey, Charlie,
Sorry?
if you serious, the youth had to raise $1 million.
Yeah. And the thing was,
Why?
like, even during
Yeah.
circles, right? They would
So,
bring like people who
mind you, this
had
is per year.
actually,
This is per
yeah, this
year.
per year.
Hey, $1
Yeah.
million per year.
So
It's
so
not.
let me
It's not
just
Hey,
like.
Charlie, for which
so
church?
let me just try to explain things, right? So if they give the targets like a $1 million target for the year, he then breaks it down into the various churches. So like from church 1 to church 12 or something, there are lots. Then before the churches now have meetings with their fellowship leaders and then they say that okay, I'm going to do this and that and that. Then your cell leader will now take her fees. She'll go and also go and pledge that okay, I'll bring $10,000. She's pledging on behalf of the wholesale, knowing very well that probably she cannot do it on her own, but she's going to do it with the help of her cell members. Then now they start putting pressure on you, the cell member, to also give the amount. I remember at a point I pledged $100 with my mom, and I told the cell leader that oh, it's a joint pledge, so I'm going to pay for both of us. So I did pay the $100, and then I told her, oh, she was happy, they congratulated me in the group and everything. Then she texts me and she says that no, my mom has to also pay $100 because heaven is an individual thing and the blessings are going to be individual. I'm like, what?
Hey, then they pay $100 go heaven.
You get why?
At that moment, like I was so shocked, I was so confused. Like I literally told you it was a joint contribution. So why are you now making it look like um she also has to pay like another $100? And then I think the second experience that really made me feel like these people are very out of touch with reality was when my sister's dad died. That was my stepdad. So this girl's literally like 16 years. She stayed with her dad all her life. Now her dad passed away just when she enters SHS and she's come home for vacation. You're like, she should come to church. And I'm trying to explain to you that, oh, we are in the morning season and all of that. So she can't come. And the first thing that this church person tells us is that we should let the dead bury their dead.
That's crazy.
That's insane, my nigga.
I
Eh?
was just at home
I don't
like,
understand.
no, so they're trying to tell you that you should let the dead bury their dead. They are not supposed to immerse yourself in like the morning and everything. Just come to
Oh.
church. Leave the family members to do their mourning and all of that. You can leave them to do whatever they want. But then you should come to church at all costs. And it was so crazy because this is somebody, she's so young. She's not even mature enough to even understand that her father is even dead. But you're telling her to come to church, come and listen to a pastor from like what? 8 a.m. to like 4 p.m. And
Hey,
some
well,
of
church
these
they close at
things,
4.
oh, it's even worse than that, my dear.
Eh.
So I think,
Hey,
so I think those who
serious.
know me, who knew me when I was there, like I was the one running the program sometimes. So if the program starts at 8 o'clock, I'm the one who works with like the production team and everything. So sometimes I'll have to go to church around 6 a.m. Not 6 a.m. per se, but like 7. Try to like get everything shape form before the service starts. And I was also like an EA to a pastor. So
What's his
I
name?
would.
Hey, Charlie, you are inside, though.
Inside rough. Hey.
Charlie.
Oh God.
So you can
The
tell us
people
what
will
the
be the
the
PS for the
the
church.
money for.
They are the heal them.
She was
Oh
shouting.
Charlie.
They inside wow.
So
You inside
Like
fucking.
they
so
like getting
Moving on to the next updates, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has confirmed the seizure of some items that belongs to the CEO, former CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, that is Honorable Mustafa Abdul Hamid. And then some of the things that have been seized will include real estate, cars, all properties. Abusuafo nti yɛntoa so na sɛ yɛtoa so a yɛse Office of the Special Prosecutor ɛyɛ Owura Kisi Ejaben. Ai mo nyinaa sɛ monim na ɔno ɛna ɛnɛ no ɔyɛ Office of the Special Prosecutor mo panin paa na nsɛm a ɔde abɛto dwa ɛne sɛ nneɛma bi a na ɛyɛ agyapadeɛ a Owura Mustafa nsa aka. Owura Mustafa yi ɛyɛ obi a mmerɛ bi atwa mu na ɔno bɛyɛ National Petroleum Authority boss na ɔsi ne japadeɛ bi wɔ hɔ nom asisi ano Office of the Special Prosecutor ɛde to ato so ɔmo san so de court nsa so ato so na saa nneɛma no bi no yɛhwɛ a na kyerɛ sɛ bi ɛyɛ japadeɛ bi te sɛ real estate anaa adan a yɛsisisisi ɛyɛ mansion ne bi ebi nso ɛyɛ cars ɛne ne nkeka ho a ɛne nyinaa no aban de ne nsa ato so sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ ɔmo betumi anya bere ahwehwɛhwɛ nsɛm mu na ɔmo ehu sɛnea katahyehyɛ dream ɛne porɔyɛ bi a yɛde abɔ ɛyɛ Mustafa Hamid no n'asɛm ne yɛbɛtumi edi no kama ansa na yɛbɛtoa biribiara so a yɛatoa so nti yɛwɔ screenshot bi ɛwɔ hɔ nom yɛbɛkan ne yɛhu the details of ɛyɛ nsɛm a ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ Ghana ha sei no na owura ɛyɛ Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid no ɛnyɛ ɔno nko a ɛna yɛde saa tubo yi abɔ no na ɔno ɛne ne nkɔfoɔ bi a na ɔmo ka ne ho a na ɔmo di dwuma no ɛyɛ nkɔfoɔ bi a ɛnɛ no aban ɛne court ɛde toɔ ɛde ato ɔmo sikasɛm so anaasɛ ɔmo nyapadeɛ bi so nti sɛ wohwɛ ɛyɛ screen ne so a heading ne se Office of the Special Prosecutor ɛyɛ Ghana na Ghana no deɛ ɔda yɛ ano no ɛyɛ Owura Kisi Ejaben na yɛkan a ɔse the OSP confirms the seizure and freezing of assets exceeding 100 million Ghana cedis and then $100 million US, including real estate holdings, fuel stations, and logistics vehicles in connection with the ongoing persecution of former NPA CEO Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid and others. Enti sɛ yɛka ne yɛhwɛ mu paa na yɛsi sika biara na ijapade bia ɛboro 100 million Ghana cedis anaasɛ $100 million US no ɛyɛ ade a aban de ne nsa ato so na ijapade ni bi sɛ na medical aka no ɛyɛ real estate ndan a yɛsisisisi ɛna fuel stations bibi a yɛbu fango ɛwɔ no ɛhɔ nom nso no ɔmo ekita saa edwuma ne nyinaa ɔmo hyɛ Mustafa Abdul Hamid ase ɛne edwuma same way aba no ɔmo ho bɔn mu nyinaa no so wɔ fuel station a yɛde nsa ato so ɛna ɔmo so ɛwɔ logistics vehicles anaasɛ cars akɛse a yɛde di dwuma ne nyinaa no yɛse yɛde nsa ato so yɛkan akɔ yɛnim a additional assets remain under active tracing as part of continuing investigation into alleged extortion and money laundering scheme. Enti yɛsi nyapade a aka no nso no yɛgu so a yɛhwehwɛ mu egu so a yɛhwɛ sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛhu baabi ebi akɔdi esan sɛ wonya fee investigations ase anaasɛ wonya fee sɛ wohwehwɛ nsɛm mu no ɛnyɛ nneɛma no nyinaa na wobɛhu no prɛko pɛ enti Office of the Special Prosecutor yɛ Owura Kisi Ejaben ɛpa kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo gu so a ɔmo hwɛ sɛ saa nneɛma no nyinaa no yɛbɛhu ne fare ba na yɛhu na ɛno nso ɛboro saa sika na anaasɛ yɛhu sɛ it is in connection with investigations a yɛyɛ ne alleged extortion a ɛno nso yɛde toɔ ɛbɛto so. These actions are consistent with the OSP's mandate under Act 959 to preserve suspected proceedings of corruption. Enti eno na chese ekoso a chese Ghana ha no yesi Mustafa Hamid no ne nyapade enye ono nkwa ne nkofo a omo ben ne nyina no saa niama ne nyina no yebehwe se yebeka ho asem na aban ebehwehwe mu ye na de di kan se wo hwe assets a ya court na confirm a baako cars na cars no specifics wo mu ene se baako ye Howo TX 340 Sinotrack yɛde ato screen no so nti wobɛhu wɔ hɔnom na ɛno no ɛyɛ car wotumi wo sɛ ne particulars nyinaa ɛwɔ hɔ ɛyɛ track ɛno yɛdi kan de yɛn nsa ato so na ne number nso ɛwɔ hɔnom ɛna deɛ ɛtɔ so mmienu nso yɛ Howo T5G 340 Sinotrack ɛno yɛ fuel tanker truck no so aban de ne nsa to so nti utumi se japade a ewo saa case yi mu no enye japade ketwa o se fuel tanker kan ho a ene se fuel station so ye je anache senti ase ewom oto aso nso a ye si Howo TX 340 Sino truck another fuel tanker nti fuel tanker kwa che se nya ba ko enye mienu o hwe number 2 hwe number 3 o hwe number 4 na o san hwe number 5 a utumi se ni nyina fuel tankers na to so saa no ya besan so de another screenshot nso ato so e de ama na eno no Mercedes Benz car ba ko nso e ka ho eno ne registered number ML 1972-23 na just ultimate say tier rubber is answer 23 then say 2023 ya munti afibe ya achekwa ye 2 years inti enhya dan che sa bebre sa ni amani nyina e na ban e pa kire say onam office of the special prosecutor so Erock si eja ben de ne tumi adwuma enu nti sa japade ni nyina wa seize na o seize no enye ne bone so nti na o seize na mom o seize se ne be ya omo betumi ato aso aye nhwehwemu afa niama ekọ so ewo National Petroleum Authority the NPA ne ho na ye hwehwe sa niama nim nyina ewie ne ye hu se kata hwehwe bi anim dream bi anim na proye bi anim a ene niama ne besan ejemu de ama omo a se ye sande omo na omo a ye gi free omo nsem no na mom se nya sa pa ne ye ko hu se from aboni bi ewo mu pa dia ene omo nto omo bo ase no omo nso monye ne ade ebeyi omo de aban ene omo bedi no nyonyonyo enye dedede na aban so be kire omo bosumi a ye de dua ebro eno nti the office of the special prosecutor se Ghana for mabon na chi bebre se onye adwuma onye hwe da bia na oye investigation sa no actions nti opa che se we no ba be take actions ama Ghana for ehu se ampa he's a man of his words enye obi a ono no okasa keke na mom no okasa wie nso a osanso nea oka ho asem no na ijapade na ya gigi na ebi nso nsaase na wo hwe nsaase na utimi say acre of land and as a property and location to yama we hu baby asase no ewo ne yama we hu ne kese ne nte ne ba sifa ne yama we hu baby o nti de edikan no asase land 18 plots eno wo hacho la dade kotopon honom no na eno nso ade a office of the special prosecutor de nsa atoso na yesanso wa another acre of land eno plot number 9845 eno wo North Legon and that development eno asase no afa no mugusu a omo bo mo homodin esiesie ni acre ni 0.52 acre land nti eno nso mantampa asase foforo no so ye number 3 no 0.33 acre land plot 14 plot 14 eno our residential road ridge the way nyakwan so that be mon fan cheme our ridge diame Kumasi kwan so eno no eno so yade a it is under development yes also our signature apartment boundary road East Legon eno de omo sidan no kura ayeden ewie signature apartment eno so abandon nsa to so ena Lowood house ɛno yɛ 2-bedroom apartment a ɛno nso ɛwɔ Boundary Road East Legon ɛno nso aban ɛde ne nsa ato so yɛsan so wɔ 1 unit block ɛno wɔ East Legon opposite CEYC Force residence ɛno deɛ dan no yabɔmɔden esi ewie apenti mu abɔhu roofing ayɛ bibia ewie nti ɛno nso aban se ɔde ne nsa ato so yɛtoa so ana the Linux apartment no ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Patrice Lumumba Street ɛyɛ airport ɛno nso ɛyɛ completed sɛ woyɛ obi a wota use airport 37 a wota behu saa Patrice Lumumba Street no pa yɛsan so ɛkɔ so a 1 unit block ɛno wɔ Adwinga no 2-story building unfinished ɛno deɛ ɔmo gu so a ɔmo so by this time dem yɛhwɛ sɛ do lentil level nanso aban sɛ beebi edu biara no ɔde ne nsa ato saa abansoro na ɔmo esi no so ɛna yɛwɔ 6 unit blocks agbogba ɛno wɔ agbogba ɛno nso ɔmo gu so a ɔmo wie a ɛno no ɔmo ndu baabi akora na otumi sɛ ɛno no foundation ɔmo bɔɔyɛ no ɔmo gu so deɛ nanso ɔmo nwie yɛ ne nti ɛno nso ne nyinaa no aban ɛde ne nsa ato so yɛkɔ yɛ ne mo nso a yɛwɔ the Atlas Suite A6 ɛno ɛwɔ Airport City ɛno wɔ Airport City nti utumi hwɛ locations a saa ndan we ni sase we nyina wɔ na very very prime locations na ɛhɔ no mo nso no aban de ne nsa ato so ɛna the Atlas 1-bedroom A67 Airport City ɛno nso ɔmo gu so a ɔmo si a yɛnwie yɛ ɛna the Atlas Suite A7- Airport City uncompleted nti utumi sɛ ɛkyabade ni deɛ bebree ane yɛwɔ another screenshot ɛno nso give us details into some of the things no fuel tankers na sɛnea medical abobɔ so ama we hu no cars ni bi no mabobɔ ɛno nso de akyerɛw dadada but aside that no so we have a lot ɛno nso ɛwɔ hɔ no ma filling stations no yɛnkɔ na membɔ so nkyerɛw na sɛ bi wɔ area na wokɔ na sɛ bi enye adwuma we beti asie ni nti a enye adwuma de kan yɛse King's Energy Filling Station ɛno ɛwɔ Millennium City ɛno kwa de yɛhwɛ a yɛsi awie ɛno na ban ɛde ne nsa ato so ɛna King's Energy Filling Station ɛno wɔ La Paz nkrankurom ha ya the bustling city of La Paz in case you have come across any of these properties Osha no wahwe ni ye probably ebia na ejapade no ensa nkɔ abusuafo nkyɛn biom but aban nsɛm na ɛbɛkɔ akɔdi but however it is no yɛnso yɛ de ani bedi akyire yɛsan so wɔ King's Energy anasa filling station ɛwɔ Ope Kuma ɛno nso ɔma bɔmɔden esi ewia ɛyɛ function a ɔmo de yɛ adwuma ɛna King's Energy Filling Station wɔ Dansoma na ɛno nso kan kom ha ya ɛno nso completed into utimi sɛ sika no ɔmo de abɔ adwuma pa ɛna parcel of land 0.22 acre na 22 acre La Paz Okankwe North Accra ote ho bisa sɛ ɛna no nkrankrom ha na asase wa ha wonni skantia sɛ wo scout means ampa asase wɔ nkrankrom ha pa ebi ɛna nkɔfo ɛtɔ wɔ La Paz no na La Paz deɛ obe bisa no sɛ na La Paz pa de asase da baabi ane da baabi ntina yegu so ayɛtɔ no another parcel of land no we 0.20 acre ɛno wɔ dɔkɔ Ablekuma North olebu kwan no so hɔ baabi ɛno nso nkrankrom ha ya ɛno nso no asase nti ɛno nso aban de ne nsa ato so ɛna another acre of land no ɛno ɛwɔ Salaga Road to the north nti yɛtɔ bi wɔ nkran ha no ne yɛtɔ bi nso ɛwɔ soro hɔ nom sɛ ne bɛyɛ ɔmo pɛ vacation baabi a ɛhɔ dwo kakra utimi sɛ nkran na ya na dede wɔ ha kaase ba na niama bebre nti obi wɔ no ma na onye sika na so totɔ nsase no sisi da na ɔyɛ properties a enye nkrankrom hanko na ɔyɛ bi wa ha na ne krom so akɔyɛ bi wɔ hɔ no me hɔ no du a ɔno ɔyɛ agema no ɔka obi anka bi nti asase ne bi yɛtɔ baako ɛwɔ Salaga Road ɛno ɛkɔ north hɔ kwan no so ɛna yɛtɔɔyɛ na ɛno ɛyɛ 0.23/0.20 acre of land ɛna baako bi nso a yɛtɔɔyɛ no ɛyɛ Kulikuli School Road Tamale ɛno ɛyɛ still under development wonu sɛ asase ne bi wɔ wotɔ a ɛsɛ onya abotre etwa ho wɔ ɛyɛ bibi wɔ asase ne so na ebehu sɛ japade ne yɛ wo dia nti sɛ wote sɛ undeveloped ya mema ne house bi asase is not developed na se kyerɛ na ɛna machire mu no na yesan so e parcel of land no ye 1.14 acres Adenta Accra anti Accra haya na Adenta no asase ni bi nso apai esu nti utumi se we filling stations we tracks we insase we your friend is saying filling stations and 4 tankers nso a utumi se eniama na ejapade ni de emodu ejapade na omudi sika no ato no ora Mustafa Abdul anya ono kwa na yedi so boyi ebo no na emom afoforo mo nso omo ka ne ho nso ene yedi kwadu ebo mo enti Office of the Special Prosecutor say asemwe nkwa de omo ntena se asemwe pa de ombedi amagana fo ehu se ampa ombedi asemwe esan se na nse amu na yebebisa se na Office of the Prosecutor ye na ban yi ba so 11 months ni den ejuma no maye omo show working no omo se dabi omo di owura Mustafa asemwe be example amagana fo nyina ehu se ampa ejuma no de ya from so omombra no omombe ya ene omobeye amagana fonso ehu se ane omo ya de enti no omo sre se authorities bia omo wo the security force mo se omo boa omo na ejuma no ekoso no omungu so emmo omo esanse akoye say the Office of the Special Prosecutor no akoye independent body nte ya no omo say sometimes no they face a lot of uncooperativeness from the other security agencies say omo kasa omo penkrata bi anase bi a police fo nkojo omo ha ba bi anase omo mbo omo nye say ya na aho ke kan security agencies for no edidi sa adwuma no omo se da bi na emmo omo kra enu nti eka ho na omo aye slow no enti omo sre say Ghana for per results Ghana for pe bibi ehu Ghana for pe bibi ate ne sa enti no obia emmo na wo yetememuni nso na wote baabi na wotumi hu se japade bi da ho na wani tua pa se we de politician ni bi MPP ni NDC ni anaso obi owo sika bi de dream ni wabebububu nkofo nse chinchim nkofo nse abeto sa asase ni ya de agi efi nkofo nse mapam omo waso na efiri so a na wonso abomodin se wonso betu wana mo aka sa asem ni de ache police force na be ya na se obetumi ato letter tin de about the Office of the Special Prosecutor so obeje bre na waje nhwehwemu na oye nhwehwemu na so ni nhwehwemu ni kire se ampa sankofo ni nyina na so obi a obebo no kwado no se ni ho bon bibi ma ye be from na ye ni o ma bon komo ye wi a investigate case no na se ye hu se case no ka ho bi pa anase asase bi o mato ma mfa sika pa nto anase se bi o omo the taxpayers money se me pa sika pa no nche se bi a bibi sa na mom se omo ankasa omo sika nka omo di be ye adwuma ana omo mfa so be se fa to omo no nka omo di be to bibi no na enye no na ye hu ndu tumi se we no sika die no aboro so ai we ye create loot and shares abrofo no mo kano na mo ba che se o yetimamuni na se hu se bibi sa akoso ewo area na abomonden about the Office of the Special Prosecutor so amane nti Dr. Mustafa Abdul ane de osi ono ane ne nkofo de omo nyom ho ready no mo aboso esanse de eba no eso pa na nsem no de omo hwehwem a omba bomodin akọ the bottom of the matter se na be ombetumi edi yie atu yie na ye to so e won nsem foforo mu ana che se ora Kevin Taylor ono nso e wa abrochime mu de nsem bia betu dwa e pa kire se NPP for Monsodi NPP for Monsodi we de o can be at the aboa chema wuntumi no se NPP for Monsodi aden ho na Monsodi o se abronye na se o kasa dodo na abronya kasa na o kasa ni nyina o de ya mpenimfo binom te se former president John Ajekum Kufuor o se abronya amanano etia sa papa no na enye onu nkwa nso wasanso amanano etia Dr. Richard Anane na Dr. Richard Anani enka no ono ebeye Minister of Roads or sanso beye Minister of Health me bi etwemu na oba je say enti abronye etunya abetena radio so atena TV so atena internet so akansema kese sa eni ono de nigide ya ba kope o say Dr. Mahmoud Baomi ono pre presidential candidacy for the NPP no ono ena wa share abronye kutupa so onka sa ansem no no nyinya mpenimfo esan se nya sa anka wo Dr. Mahmoud Baumia wonya abronye your head of communications enti sa abronye ye wo head of communications no be kan bibi na wantumi antiana ena Dr. Mahmoud Baumia wa ena wa ma no sa permit no na wa ma no permission no na wa san so ama na hoden no se o metena ho no create in papemu and intitimu e NPP mu by insulting founding fathers in penimfo asabio abronya no ko mbetumi awo no saa de no o se NPP for mon so de na nya NPP for nkwanso e na abronya Kevin Taylor esre so mon so de o se nkoda omo ye Dr. Richard Ananemma they should also sue abronya yenkotie nienti a o si saa nkoda no so ensu abronya o se o ma anye saa de a ene ono kura no mo ni so no nkwala no papa na onwo mo kura nkenye yenkotie saa
dia Baumia yesisi ane dia too much dia Baumia ama saa boys we your partner in fact Dr. Anane say o mma bia se bi o mu gina ye a they need to take this boy on in sama abronye kan afa papa we hu no deliberate Baumia mu na she chire se onkoye saa otumi kan ya to the point so ka kire chara na say ono prescription of the man kofo no or the wrong one em mu ni ku omo and o won kofo pani mo mu. He made a statement to say Richard Anane ye kromfo. No, this is serious. From the beginning, I said Dr. Richard Anane minyansa kwa so betina on the table or not hu bi. Wey Baumia who is Abronya speaking for? Abronya okasama hwan. Abronya ni aim and saying ni end game ewa ade we mu nyina and saying the end game nyina na say dean MPP Baumia and be lead MPP into the all nyina and who then when all no one interest him. And have you seen or heard Baumia stand anywhere else to admonish this guy to say hey no what is about Samira Baumia ko jina kasa Baumia men kasa sa and support me kunu what be no but Shesa Abronya kache Dr. Richard Anane ya aboa onim nyansa ono Abronya nyansa eda ne tirimu no Dr. Richard Anane onim nyansa na ono obopane boni kunipa said Dr. Richard Anane ma etiase na so omo pese omo protect omo papa integrity before papa we sebio onyame beto ne nsa afre na awoso omo kire Abronya use the legal means Abronya needs to prove beyond reasonable doubt because papa we was serve Ghana wa hwe nipa wa prescribe a drama nipa we save nipa but all this credibility papa we are working hard and they are protecting him not because of politics because Baumia pe power nti because Baumia episode lead the MPP nti or she Abronya chima and Abronya to internet so and that's why I'm talking to Mr. Dr. Anane Nemma. Say if you sit there and this is what they did. Saboys we no ye ediku nipa. Omanu say. How can you just sit on internet and say Dr. Richard Anane with all the credibility no wa wo bi panie kuno emphatic statement. Wa bokro no emphatic statement. Richard Anane Sebio wama nkofo edubone wa prescribe edubone ama nipa bia numewu emphatic statement. And how did we get here? Your politics ni your party back on your womb. Papa we betina TV so when di boy we atem. Wan ka bibia ntwi boy we o si impenifo na akohia. Ana se woni anya adwiri kura se ne woni kofo kura kasa no enye. Enti dan na Abronya okasama Baumia ne yire. How? Why is this possible? Why are we doing this to ourselves? MPP. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Can't we see, say, party no, I say. Can't we see? This is an honorable man. It's a dear Abronya we inti Baumia tuona or shake Abronya. They are happy. Nana B, Justin Kodia, Masaudu, Masala Musta. Why? What do you people want? Samira Baumia Shanyamo, we know a sre. because it is going in favor of Bawumia. Enti Bawumia na mo be wi aba ni mu di ama no o wi a oni hwan ne be ye adwuma. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Mekano kra yes me ye adwuma mo obi, mekano kra yes makoji obi sika as a city it the part no transparency na me pe. E de na Kofo kan na ebony. I might not agree with Kofo on some things, but Kofo at least was saying say mama ye nyoma ye. But in media ni muda, let's do things right. Dr. Nane say, ye nyina ye mpanifo. It mama ye nyina nwene na wa betena TV so catch up papa say, wa bopane eku nipa. Wa prescribe adrubon ama nipa ewu. Oye kromfo. Dr. Richard Nane say wo ma. Na se me hu omo, na se omo take decision be and take action, then they will be one of the most useless people our woman. I'm telling you. Because this cannot just slide. And then your politics in tra. Are you going to go die? You are old, you are trying, you are resting. This is the thing I open obidi gu so answer na sebi onyame ato nsafro. And Richard Ananemba to we. If you don't take care, this is what people are going to say after your father leaves this planet. After God, papa, this is the legacy Abronya de Betaro Papa. And this is something you people need to act quickly in less than 24 hours. Because in seminar Branty na Kanfa Dr. Nane is serious. Do you know the number of people at Dr. Nane are for Omafan in Sema Washomo? Do you know? Nipa we save womo, nipa wa boa omo, nipa wa show omo as a doctor. Then you open your mouth on TV, e will use internet so e catch papa we say or no. Wa man nipa edrubone mo man no mewu. Wa bo omo panie eku omo ato atwene. How? Shit. I don't even know how to.
Enti osi nti MPP for mote ho e ma bronye kekan same way esanso e create confusion and a disunity amongst the party ana abrantie bi nso e wo Twitter abetro nice profile concerning abronye yenhwe sa screenshot no na fede yenhu details of nsem a ode kan ye efa abronye ho. Ose abronye yesi anti ye de beto screen so sima ba kope e de ama o. Ose abronye wo hoi onu ni o ene wa hye coat ene wa hye suit ene wa ye clean wa ye kama nka ni bi de anka fa so hu abronye a anka hu se bia coat krampo hye bi na mpo no shout me say coat no mo ka comment section ase say mo nim say coat na AI and I'm with their edit and so no one can share says papa no nim to a gentle sa and gentility shed and nina fa and then never question coat to no one share home white shirt no near the day. And to see dear all meet or dinner home Nana Kwame Talib abronye ni dino no na o se ye nyina o ma yakwa ba yenhwe abrante yoda ye screens yisu ode ne ho Nana Kwame Talib no say we Bawumia's head of communication eba no nkomodie a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia odi wa bonten so e dey fan the campaign or yes and be adacho ba be flag bearer for the new patriotic party abronye yi na oda no a ohwe sankomodie ya kwaniaba ne yekọ ne ba ne yeka o TV so ne yeka o radio so ne yetwo nkrata mu nyina o se ono na head of communication o se Bawumia's campaign manager in 3 regions including the stronghold that is the Ashanti region nti o se abronye o shanso Bawumia ne campaign manager e wo 3 regions e wo Ghana ha se na the edi makotene pa Ashanti region which happens to be the stronghold for the NPP. Na afedo sanzu wie yo say wabona boarding fufuro na boarding odi ama abronye no say oye low budget Kevin Taylor esan say nansen ono so starting in show it means why set up na wabetena so na ono so kire na adwen na okansem na oboja ntino ene oye low budget Kevin Taylor. I say the man who has disrespected men of God, traditional rulers and former presidents. In the says abranti order is scream you see oyobia wa nchire ni so ani webu nkofo bi enimtia na nkofo webu omo enimtia na nya nipa bia keke webu asofo enimtia, that is the men of God no webu asofo enimtia wasanso webu traditional leaders ahemfo ahemfo omo enkuro akese ne nketo amu nyina no say abronye has not been fair to these people. And yes sanso shepa the former president, whoever is in connection to the former president in the misheda nim nipa kopoti ayeka no ansem, but ultimately say recently no case na eba no about the former president John Adekum Kufuonti, it probably might be him. Enti o say abronye ni profile say we are nyina ehu na wiase nyina de hu zampa papa no ne su ne ban a ode nam wiase eno nie no sa profile no na wachiche na why no 1 2 3 4 5 simple sentences and odi introduce abronye de ama nto se wunni abronye na sa wote so kasa wo radio so na wote so kasa wo ba bia mema ne nya nwanwa ezanze ono no na ejuma odi a no se onche ni so emfa ma asofo osanso bu mpanimfo animtia ene bebia wo bia emfa ne ho akonya wudi emfa ne ho obu a won ho emfa ne ho enti ono de eba ne mu a obeto so de ama na afa de former president to kwa watoto ama na enya wo a wo so ti oba bia onso wo dwen ho ana wa beka no kakra bi o say osanso ye low budget Kevin Taylor say asema bia emfa ne ho kra no eno sa asem no eno kwa no kakra ma ne yede no no so aye ne setup no abetena radio so abetena TV so na so aye sa podcast ni bi no tumi ho ane na o se ohia TV o se bibisa na ho nso oba pro ni nsem egu na koma so nyina de egu ho de amaga na for ni MPP for no pa che se we ono ni ye yi sa so to nche sanso ye head of communications for Baumia ne campaign team for 3 regions or sanso campaign manager until timi se ne dibia ne bobre de esu enti na hyebe wapeja ne meti a ene no opa che so kasa mo bi enka bi na oye bibi nso a mo bi emisa no ho question ti den se Dr. Mahmoud ba me akura ka hye bi kura mpo na ne che se ono abronye no ono so tumi be ka ne de e the refute point at the end of the day no they are all yen say ne campaign ono so ye de aboa Dr. Mahmoud Baumia enunti abronye na ye hu no on our screen no ma ye hu what you have concerning his personality is and say abrantie Joe Star no what Twitter there ono send you hu abronye no na wa betro de ato abefonten so send e be awiase nyina ebe hu nto wa introduction de ama no wa cho myself and so de ama no in 5 simple sentences nti wunim na o se hu hia akura sa obetie ne kasa no we hu na na se hu hia se obekọ ni page akwhwe ni bakro ye wo de wo read this animal 5 year wabọ ne tofa we summarization brief wabọ ne tofa na wa cheche wa ultimate say ani abronye no and dia okura o de ba wiase nyina no eno ene da ho ene no enti abeto aso wonsem fufurum na ye to aso wonsem fufurum a the next update no ultimate say ewutu senya east kaso ane ne mpantemu ultimate say 2024 elections no there was a lot of heat course so has say now the competition was keenly and now the MP seats no was keenly contested by 2 women the edikano how akumsin on the ticket of the NPP and oba na call your Phils and Phyllis and so on the ticket of the NDC now election 2024 no ultimately said there was a lot of electoral violence that people recounted and people experienced. Now one of the people on also said she was attacked on her way to her duties and I said ne juma se ne be a mbe bua ne yato abade amana bedi MP no na koyo be kan share kasa no kro ka dinze na ni voice mu nyina sheki o si how akumsi na so man kofo ama oma betutututu tuo de etia no tuo kwa ote gunshot be makoma ko 3 enti mpanimfo se ne sa do mo so mbetena se normal year investigations whatever that actually went on we would to say nya ma nipa ba kokwa losing in life enti benifo ye nhwemu ana omo da betu dwa say oh akoyete say ye wrayere na akoyo nsem o kan ye nhye de hu ni ti nhye de hu ni na isan say ya invite no ama na ba kasa nso asa kasa na obe kasa ye no nsem no kan na fe de ni nyina so ana na akoyo nso say eni nyina so sen o de ye ndi kan ye nkohwe video bako emra ne ye ntie se ne ansem ni nyina ne fa de bai etie na fe de ye ba na ya to aso.
I have remained quiet despite calls by well-meaning Ghanaians, including my constituents, who witnessed these brutal attacks. At no time did I say no attack happened. I stated emphatically to the task force that on the election day during my rounds, I noticed my convoy was being followed by a V8 vehicle, allegedly known to be used by Howard Johnson and a Nadmo pickup, which had a green government number plate. After visiting some polling stations, I decided to go home because I felt my life was in danger. So I am convinced that at the conclusion of this investigation, the true facts will emerge.
Abusiano nti Minister of Interior no this ansem yi ne findings on electoral violence na ebetu dwa no de betu dwa no tumi sensem bi wo ho no ma anye yewra yire na akoyo de anye ne de kura no no so aye press conference na wa ba be ka se da bi findings ya mu de ba ye no wanka be wanka ba bi ada se obi am beto anhye no so anase gang bia en nachi osin kofo be di nachi na fe de ono tifie obehu na we frɛ no we so frɛ no ni phone kura de bia bisa say ntin tro en obedidi ma Ghana for 2024 na e ka tell say how akumtia so man kofo so meku no ni life is in danger ene aye nhwehwemu by mutaka na je say mutaka ba pepa che say nsem ni nyina enya no kura na enti ye vindicate how akumsin na ono mama be a bad person say there be enti press conference na ye kotie ye no eno no frey eno de acheche ni nsem apa che say there be asem na findings na omo de abetu dwan enya ne sa no no wan ko kanda awo baby a say wan feel threatened for her life sa asem ni de esi ye enti no say omo aba be kasa ne enu nima ne omo mfa nshem no omo hu say Ghana for hu say when ni atro bia nti mo bia mfre no otrofo we ena abrantie bi nso etie no say media personality back on o say na koyo why the two say ye press conference eyo man hene o say na why the two say ba na be press conference na tena say na cheche wunsem mo o say so obi o two no nipa no wanya de sanse niama bi wo honma ye kan wo close doors ye mfa ma bonten na obeye mpo na se hu se na obeye na sifa yenko ti o ma hene ni nsem a ono so edutu dwa mra na akoyo sa press conference ewie ye no
should take this matter up seriously. I have not paid attention to Nsema Kasia, member of parliament intro. Now one man is a Quenya on press conference. Hey, oh ye kushini papa. This is a very serious matter. Very, very serious matter. That to that extent. And you are still a member of parliament. And the police is looking on. No. Debbie. It can't be possible. How? And your man kasia wakiking. The rate at which we are abnormal things are normal in this country. You can't believe it. For political power, for political gains, for a certain interest that does not inure to the bigger picture about affecting the positively. Now you don't even know shame. What's about a press conference? When you kukudro, esabekasa. Listen to the Okakao.
To the Honorable Minister of Interior and National Security, I have remained quiet despite calls by well-meaning Ghanaians, including my constituents, who witnessed these brutal attacks. At no time did I say no attack happened. I stated emphatically to the task force that on election day during my rounds, I noticed my convoy was being followed by a V8 vehicle, allegedly known to be used by Howard Compson and a Nadmo pickup, which had a green government number plate. After visiting some polling stations, I decided to go home because I felt my life was in danger. So I am convinced that at the conclusion of this investigation, the truer facts will emerge. On the issue of unwillingness of persons who witnessed these acts to testify, this is entirely out of my control. There are videos to some of these attacks, and these are available for the committee to aid their work.
Madam, I don't even know who advised you to come and do this press conference. Go back and play. Whether Okase na oniho anana onam baby and oye alleged. Go back and play what the interviews he held with my good brother Captain Smart and then the other people. Just play what she said. Now wasenya akukudro abetina ye Ghana Parliament ebe cheche nisimu. Please, mamunya sa. I am expecting that at this point, Kwano, sebi. Can we pose for crama? We are sharing you now. Crowd chop every Ghana fakopa. Yemame how cruise. Look at what she's saying this morning. Go back. Now let's say press conference no okano. Any asemo kan bra ye to abane say emwe bra. Bompa ye mo my Ghana.
Bino. Etone kaya no. Me official Mahindra na me yusu no. Party kano. Eno na me timu bino.
Etuo ni kan yen no. Etuo no e kan yen no. Wo official car na use no party car no Mahindra no. Etuo ni kan yen no. And then we'll come back to press conference as well kan. Yenti.
Bino. Etuo ni kaya no. Me official Mahindra na me use no. Party car no. Eno na me timu bino. Eno so ana etuo no e kan yen. Enti one more etuo ni kan wo na one more ete car na chi no mo te front na hefa no mo wo. No mo te echi. No mo te me car na echi.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And you come and do a press conference to talk something totally different from what you have said earlier on. Hey, the mommy wanted to say. How? And that's why sometimes we are tempted to believe that selectivity in terms of the justice system in this country is very, very nauseating. Honestly. Because you lie through like that, and you come back and you are bold, having a press conference and stating otherwise. Young Kasa Ghana Interior Minister, Sabi, Ufisa no fitia or Teda Sabrano Man the Kraswana. You are comfortable to come and hold this press conference and to come and lie again? And you're still there. Representing people's interests. Now, dear Kohiye, we are. What can you give to the people of Eutusina? Tiwa wonu musem.
Bino. Etone kaya no. Me official Mahindra na me yusu no. Party car no. Eno na me timu bino. Eno so ana etro no e kaya. Enti one more etone kan wo na one more ete car na chi no mo te front na hefa no mo wo. No mo te echi. No mo te me car na echi. Ene etone kan mo. Car na chi say echira enye say echira obi a ehu but car na chi yatum. I car na chi pick up say pick up Mahindra pick up. It's almost a car na chi. Ene na wo te hefa.
See me question you ne busa na mame. Cars na ye dodo say baako and on one won't be them ranting and witchery, and I said, Castle, na do door saying,
Can I hear me? No, but and I
that's right.
Yeah.
The idea you want the idea training na etu kan.
The idea train.
Eti car no Land Cruiser black no e cross wo de na na se be share montem.
E buy the mechanic no mo start some fire.
Wo car na say de di wo car na chi no.
There be me a mechano.
Okay.
Me a mechano.
Patro na wona wo drive.
Patro there be.
Okay.
Na me driver na me chikano.
All right. Mo wo car na mo yes na na team.
Na yeah 6 na na tekanim.
Okay. Na Patro what two gunshot no te be do be say.
Yet two be 3.
Be do be 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Enti wo mo tutu wie no wo mo di mo chi be sam ho koya na so mo dane wo mo ho.
Patro mo dane wo mo ho koye.
All right. Ekuya no into aso.
Okay, eti honorable saying anamo babe na wutu asat enumre ya we say apostle.
Ya fra police farmer. Omo aba say. Ama ya kasa. What is no?
She was not.
Omo aba Echo. Na ya kekra. Police money escort me.
Now, body's number 5 anyway. You know, body's number 5 anyway. Really? I see. Bompaye mo my Ghana. Imu amanyo semfo, imu central for. Any one edit tro edi juma bompaye mai.
Mate.
Meti umpaye bono Ghana eti.
Nyankopon ne mabankese. Nyame a woye nyame. Dani na weni wo maso. Me da was say for vindication what the amame. Na me tina sa vindication so everade asra wo say politicians media for na say journalists for on my Ghana I am sure any idea ye nyoma erade me pipe one say sakra wo mo erade fa akumapa any adwempa ehye won nyina akiri mu and try politician and I say journalist bi ebecha betu obi edi ne be kon social mu erade peguma yen
amen
erade yem pipe one say magana emfa ne ntuma panhira erade my agin sakra say sakra ya agin etri boni ne try won ehia yenim say Ghana ebefa ne ntuma panhira erade ma amenyofo nyina emfa no kredie emfa nye adwuma emfa show we erade no munyam me da wase she we tie ya no pay me kosora de ubo ni no so show wonsa omo de no kre eye adwuma erade
ebusia enti asem de wate bio otumi wo se eyensem podo pa na we nyina ekire no ena nkofo e pa che se eye ora na akoyo nsem a waba abeka no enye se first no she didn't na maame na akoyo mu fancheme nsem a waba abeka no enye se bia na beginning no no onim asem a o kana no kwari o na mom probably in the heat of the moment and na original so yes I say truthfully no obi ono efri mu emra asem yi eba ye last year 2024 elections no the late Yusuf Laris Idris ono de owuye no de betimi a confirm but o can say bodies ni ye too no and also raise questions say aside ora Yusuf Larry Idris no obi biara ni ho ayesen hu ni body biom enti nsem no de de aya na aye no emu no kware no so na Minister of Ministry of Interior so e de aba no mo so mo hwehwe mo ye ene mo findings mo hu ye no mo de aba na ye maame na akoyo se ono de wo mu se omo aye hwehwe mu de findings aba de but she still stands where she stands as I say you and I were not there. Now, if you and I were not there, then whatever she is saying, she knows very well. Now, if people are unwilling, Senya, the task force ne air kanu says they've invited people to come and then defend or serve as witnesses to what happened. If those people are unwilling to come forward, so mama media dance here, or no, see, it is no fault of hers. It's also no na femu dia dia waye. Nanso, or say task force no, I show mu so mu nye sanchi mu. Omo de no omo ko pull out videos during those times. Or say there were a lot of videos I saw from during those times. Even if they say no can no cry videos no go to me actually say or no insem no can no cry pa inti mo bi anyina baby emfre no otrofo esan so no otrofo na parliament no ote ho no so nkofo e na to abade ama no so ombra no mbebo mo se na ebe ya ewutu senya east for so ebetumi enya mpuntuo no manya ne amapapa ewo omonso omomantemu nti edo anso e na obehwemu aye so she will stay very focused on ti obia na otietie nkofo ano dia ejuma ya hye ne so omra no mbe parliament ne bia na wantumi anye nti she will stay focused and then do that. Now ebusa ya twaso ne yakọ the next update awe hosem eneno abetoga na hano ene se journalist for ebi omoka yere Professor Nana Amakluche ho ono CEO oda EPA, that is Environmental Protection Agency, no eka ho ko mukoye sa anti-galamsey and anti-mining nyuma ye omudi komprobo se ne be ya nkofo a omudi illegal means ana omomfa kwan paso etu Ghana famode no omo be hwe na sankofo ni na yacheche omo no yesi nyuma ni subia na no omo ko adwuma ni bia na no omo ye we de yanti asempo yesi journalist ni bi wo hono ma omo ye badly injured because of an accident utumi hu ewo ye screens ni so say cars ni nyina de cars na amoamo ankasa tin tomatoes chance kura mfa ne ho cars ni bia amoamo pa na ni nyina na adwuma e no omo kra se nko kwakoyo enti so official screens ni so a 2 journalists in critical conditions following ghastly accident after EPA anti-galamsey team was attacked near Obuasi. Inti journalist mienu a omo no baako omo mienu nyina ekoka EPA fo ho se omo kodi omo nyuma ewo Kumase na omo du ba bia ye fe ho afare eho na sa asem we esi ye na ho no omo se omo du ho no utimi uze nkofo a omo galamsey sites no they don't go there unprepared o na ye patch say omo ntuo any omo ammunitions a ekro omo no sing security service for omo di EPA for echidi call yo dabi sana na makluchi patch a o se omo doors no omo ba omo ntuo ni ade a na omo kita pa no e na omo yo emergency with their car no omo team na yemienu no omo be sisan directions na omo adwane de akọ esan say baby edu no omo nkwa na se nko omo pre enti omo pre omo nkwa na car na baako ebo mu se po e na afi the journalist mienu omo gu sa cars ni mu no ya nti asem da ene no omo da critical conditions omo nso omo wo ayadehwe a omo ja ayadehwe enti yenkotie se na asem ni nyina nso esi eba ya Professor Nana Amakluche, CEO of EPA, so chairs and same nemu esifae.
Edu kwan ho baby no, ebe Obuase, dadwene kru no.
Okay.
Just before dadwene ehun say excavator bi esi baby a omu to gold no, no omu gusu ye edwuma no.
Okay.
Nti ejaya cars ne si kwan ho na ye nante kọ ho. Na e kwan wo car ne ntumi nkọ ho. Nti ya kwa na ehun say nkofo ni dwane kọ. Odu wana hono emwe peja kakra sa bepo so kakra. Etu wana ehun say excavators be miensa so esi nsuom a mo to go no so mo so gusu your operation another bit distance from there but na ehun ejina so ra ehun.
Okay.
Nti asa kwa car ni mo fotu car no ekọ be bia nsuo no omo to go ni wo nsuo no mo. Na ben sa community na ye fa na dadwen no ho.
Okay.
Was our community no mu nti e ko park e kra o community no mu e na nante ko site ho yɛgyina site hɔ ɛna nya na ntia hwɛ galamsey fo no ɛboɔboɔ mo ho abayɛ so nti national security for no catch nti say ye free ho okay ya nanti free but na ye nanti tentampa free site o me kwa no koto mad mu a na ye yimi enyi me nan yina ko she na ka ka
me se ba bi na wonan akosha me na mu a ya so mu a ye twen na ye wa
bedroom ko to jokra
wo
enti eventually mama akantin katumi yime na yekodru car no ebetra me bedru car no ho no na mama omumu odu omu akokotre bai ekuta ntuo ejenina ho ene omu ya galamsey yin so omu hihye omu Wellington boots omu de motorbikes ba na se omu ba pa international security for no ebisa omu kuta tuo no na omu sha black up and down ebisha vest ya trust CID ewechire
okay
nti yenim se boy police for international security for no omo bisa omo nsam se omo ye hwan mo ne ade omo se omo ye police for omo fa ID card mbra se ye police for omo ntumi eya nkyere ena national security for no omo kusu ya omo ne omo ya no ena ehu se more of them enso eba na etu ekuta omo ya nkofo no ya national security for no tuo no nya obi akwa na ekura tuo ni baka kra bi na ekura tuo because of na enye ho ankasa na ya bade enti ema omoka se de ekura omo no de omo wa no de ye ntumi ni omo nsie ni enti ebe ya nko
na galamsey for no kura tuo na ekuta omo no ene jama AK47 ne ayi assault rifles ni bia
pump action ne de wo ho
wo gidi
almost say yanko
omo de no so chen mo national security team no
ya de no more certificate yes ya national security for them
I see
enti na say ye dwane
okay
na kwan so ya kwa na so na ye nya national security for no ebi kwa free nkran
okay
say my fa baby aye firi ba ya no say yensa ye chi like me enko baby aye ko ni bi yensa ye chi nko kumase na nko my
mama nko baby amu ko ni bi
say na ye firi kumase na ye bese fa obo as na ye kwa amansia central
okay
enti my yensa ye chi kura nsa mfa kumase kwan no so nko kumase enti yenfa route foforo na ye nko enti ama ye ko fa
ayan say bi makole ambush wo kwan ni so twen mo ana
omuka esa na omuka yen say omu afefro omu ho egada ele ambush wo ye so
okay
enti be omu ya no ma ye mfa ho enti ko fa ayan free ko fa do nko no fe ko pie mu wo wasa asa ye besa be fa kumase
okay
ti ya kwa na speed de ye dibi na national security for na lead ye
okay
enti omu pace no na ya su nyina so ya ko
okay
enti speed de ye dibi ankasa
okay
na in fact na
more call like a convoy
the convoy ya kwata sa convoy saka na di ekire
okay
enti aka na edu kumasi en carrier kwan no so na ya ka ba ko last but one car no ene truck ekohia head on kwani shia head on condition sa truck no so ye eso galamsey enuma ibi ekura sa pipes na omode nsuo fom e de pompe e de washi omugo gini wo nsuo no mu
okay
eno bi ya car no ene omu car no ekohia ye enti head on condition ne pe waka no nyina obi abraye ebi de enye ebi tie krebu ne nan no tie no ebra sesi a oje ayarehwe
ne sere ebi na awoka ho asemi ne tie asin ne sere nkasai no
ya nti amu pra no sesi amu ye enwotwe amu ye 8 e hospital sesi a EPA for mensa 3 and central for 5 and no omu
okay enra ne yet say mu sensentwofo ni bi e wo critical condition anopa yo mu condition it say are they still in critical condition
ba ko de doctors no say so yes surgery de ne nan ebu no
okay
say yes surgery nti omugu no so a omo ye ho adwuma They are requested for VIP services. I'm on
okay.
Into attention almost so. You know, almost so free break could do ho. You go so, yeah, no more why show mo. Into back so na menim no, menim paye. Na and I'm quite chile dear, but I'm a pay you said the name no, into and also doctors no, share or and you shall be a S-ray. Oh, baby, Rebecca say, and ye be a S-ray. Into journalists no woman in EP 4 staff at Kahonina. There are more VIP treatment. In fact, many promise to create for a buying say, you woman as a yen to me now Ghana ha. Sabuche cry the Omubako, Nash, I are any year at the amount.